Ushla, ladies and gentlemen, prior to commencing our ceremony, given the location for our ceremony today, may I request your vigilance and full cooperation with Garda Síochána, our community warden service and our marshals throughout the ceremony in the interests of both your safety and the safety of others. Cathaoirleach, Avera, Cathaoirleach, Cllr Peter agus the Córide Gael. Cúis brodum Harcian Cllr Peter agus Cllr Peter Céad fáilte a chur over fad. He gan ócáid speisialta seo inniu. Bhuaitlam fáilte speisialta a chur raibh níltí na níine a bhí páirteach sa éirí amach atá linn an seo inniu. During the Easter Rising of 1916, an engagement between the Irish volunteers and the British forces occurred here at Carnmore Crossroads on the 26th of April 1916, resulting in the death of RIC Constable Patrick Whelan. Today, 100 years later, on the 26th of April 2016, we gather to unveil a commemorative stone to mark the engagement between the Irish volunteers and the British forces. Given that the volunteers involved in the engagement comprised both the Claregalway Volunteers and the Castlegar Volunteers, it is appropriate that our ceremony today is a joint ceremony, jointly led by the Cathaoirleach of the County of Galway, Cllr Peter Roche, and the Mayor of the City of Galway, Councillor Frank Fahey. On behalf of Galway County Council and Galway City Council, I welcome you to the ceremony. In particular, I extend a warm welcome to the relatives of those directly involved 100 years ago today, many of whom I am aware have travelled long distances to participate in our commemorations over recent days and to attend our ceremony today. I also welcome the local community and thank you for attending the unveiling of the commemorative stone here in your local community to mark the events of the 26th of April 1916. I also wish to acknowledge the presence today of a delegation from Washington County, sister county of the County of Galway, who have travelled from Wisconsin to join us for the centenary commemorations of the 1916 Rising. Our ceremony will commence with our piper, followed by a short address by the Cathaoirleach of the County of Galway. The commemorative stone will be jointly unveiled by the Cathaoirleach of the County of Galway and the Mayor of the City of Galway. Misha Éire will follow, and our ceremony will conclude with the national anthem. Irmidjanish ar an Cathaoirleach Claregalway Cllr Peter Roche Labhairt live.
Cllr Cllr agus is mórna as dam bheith an seo is an ócáid speisialta seo. Agus bhuailm fáilte a crí a chur rih gatainna. Mayor of Galway City, Councillor Frank Fahey, Cathaoirleach, Shanadori, Córlóirí, agus a Cllr fáilte. As Cathaoirleach of this great county of Galway, it is my great privilege and indeed my honour to join with the Mayor of Galway City, Councillor Frank Fahey, here this morning as we acknowledge and commemorate the events of the 26th of April 1916 here at Carnmore Cross. The 1916 Rising is comprised of many different stories about the people and the events of 100 years ago. Today we acknowledge those who participated in those events, and as we come together in a way that is respectful, inclusive, to commemorate the events that are part of what we are today. This is a hugely important occasion for many local communities and the families of those involved, and it affords you an opportunity to reflect on the contribution of your ancestors to the events of 1916. I appreciate that for many of you here today, this ceremony is particularly poignant, as it marks the contribution of your ancestors and their role in events that were pivotal in the formation of our nation. It is also a hugely important occasion for our county, in that the unveiling of this commemorative stone which will ensure that by the end of the centenary commemorations of 1916, all of the locations of the county of Galway associated with the events of the 25th to the 29th of April, we will have an appropriate commemorative marker. These commemorative marks will appropriately recognise the significance of these locations to the events of the 1916 Rising in our county, and indeed to the families of those directly involved in the Rising. It is appropriate that this commemorative stone marks the location that played a significant role in the history of our county. This stone, together with the memorial close by in Lydican, will serve to better inform the future generations included in the commemorative map of the 1916 Rising in the county of Galway, and the Heritage Trail to be launched later this week by Galway County Council. The aim of the 1916 centenary programme for the county of Galway, developed by Galway County Council in consultation with the people of the county, is to enable the active participation of communities right across the county in our centenary commemorations. It is clear that this aim has met with that our centenary programme has reached into every community right across the county in supporting and facilitating them to commemorate the 1916 Rising, and in particular to allow them to inform future generations of their ties of the events of the people who served in Easter week. The local community here in Carnmore, Claregalway, have also availed of the opportunity of the centenary of the Rising to reflect on the strong ties that they had to this defining period with their own local commemorations. I commend you on the same, and I am confident that your commemorations will serve to pass on to the next generation, and the importance of remembering and reflecting the events of 1916. In conclusion, may I convey my appreciation to you for attending this morning and for unveiling the commemorative stone. I particularly wish to acknowledge those who have travelled long distances to be present here this morning. Finally, it is important that I acknowledge the assistance of the local community in facilitating this ceremony, and I extend my appreciation to the Mayor of Galway City, Councillor Frank Fahey, the Chief Executive of Galway City Council, Mr. Brendan McGrath, and his officials for joining us for this joint commemoration. And finally, I'd like to recognise and mention one gentleman that's here this morning, whose name was given to me earlier, and that's Chris Ruan, who was an MP for 18 years. He's here to share with us this morning the unveiling of this stone. He was grandson of Commander Tom Ruan. So, fáilte Chris agus gur míle maith agah Cllr.
Thank you, Cathaoirleach. I now invite the Cathaoirleach of the County of Galway, Cllr Peter Roche, and the Mayor of the City of Galway, Councillor Frank Fahey, to jointly unveil the commemorative stone commissioned by Galway County Council to commemorate the engagement between the Irish Volunteers and the British forces on the 26th of April 1916.